Hello, everybody. This is Celeste Duffie, the author of The Ass Backwards Way to Move Forward. And today I want to bring to you a video and talk a little bit about this video that's been on the internet from someone named James Klung. It's kind of a man on the street video, but this one is a little bit interesting. I think he's asking some people on the street why Black voters are voting for Trump, and we're getting some interesting answers. So I know some other content creators have done this, and shout out to all of those who have, but I want to do it as well. And I think I may have a little bit of a different take on this. So let's go ahead, bring the video in, and thank you to James Klung. Let's see.
Trump and then Biden.
Oh my God, I can't. Nope, I'm done.
Why not?
What's going on, everyone? James Klug here. Today I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm going to be talking to people about Trump's growing support in the Black community. And for those that disagree with the idea of Black Americans supporting Donald Trump, I'm going to bring him face to face with my good friend Amir Odom. Amir, thanks for joining me today. Are you ready to get going?
Oh, I'm more than ready.
Let's go talk to some people.
So, New York Times Siena poll, it's a top-tier poll. They released information a few weeks ago, right? Showing growing support in the Black community for Donald Trump.
23% it just hit. The same poll showed 4% 1 month before the 2020 election. So a major increase. I want to ask you, is that surprising to you?
Extremely surprising.
Yeah,
shocks you?
it does shock because I'm like, are you not paying attention to what you see, what you hear?
Right.
Well, no, it don't surprise me because me, myself, I love Trump.
You know?
I'm a Trump supporter.
Okay.
So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I think people just finally realizing that he's a good person.
Maybe it's not surprising.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he did do some things that was good for the community. So maybe it's not so surprising. A lot of Black men are more conservative than you think. But
Yeah.
it might be his message, the way he put it out. But they still might agree with something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're not surprised by this at all?
No, not at all.
Why do you think there are Black Americans that vote for Donald Trump or want to vote for Donald Trump?
I can only assume that they're horribly uninformed. Trump has done nothing for the Black community.
People don't really pay attention to the issues, really. They just pay attention to what's popular.
Okay. You think support for Trump is popular? I think a lot of people would say it's not.
I think it's not. I think people are paying attention to the issues, and the powers that be are, I don't know, they're not satisfying everyone's needs, so they're just fed up.
Right.
So they're just jumping ship.
So I wanted to talk about this. I think he brought up a very good point when he was saying about, do you think support, or specifically Black support for Donald Trump, is popular? That's kind of a big deal. And I've been saying this I do a Sunday show, as many of you know, with A Righteous Perspective. And, we sort of talk about issues like this. And what I'm seeing is that there is in the Black community a separation. They talk about the country being divided. And I am thinking that the Black community is mirroring the exact same fissure that's happening in the rest of the broader population. And that is what you are finding Black and white liberals who sort of the same worldview and tend to see things in the same way and vote in the same pattern and share the same values. And you are now having Black and white conservatives that are voting the same way and sharing the same values. So what is becoming clear in this election probably is going to do a lot to make it clearer in terms of really getting some definite numbers and really shaking out the numbers to see where the Black community is falling. But first of all, we're already at time's up. I believe, and Lyndon Baines Johnson said that he was going to have, I skipped the word, voting for Democrats for 80 years. Well, we're probably, nearing the end of that 80-year point. So we're already at time's up. But not only that, the issue is there are many, many Black people who are looking at the way they are living their lives, where they're living their lives, under what rulership, under what policies are guiding their lives. And they're looking over at other Americans who are doing it easier and who are doing it better, and most importantly, doing it cheaper. And it is starting to resonate with Black people that maybe there may be some reason for this conservative ideology and these different policies. And I think many of them are beginning to take a look. But as far as whether or not it's popular, I can personally tell you, what is amazing to me, and I'm on the internet, I am in these internet streets, so believe me when I say this, it is becoming fashionable. The Democrats have lost their monopoly on what is cool. The Democrats used to own that. And everybody cool used to be a Democrat, and they used to own it. They have lost the monopoly on that. It is extremely cool to say, I'm going to vote. I don't vote blue no matter who. I look at policies. You never heard people saying this even 2 years ago, even in 2020, even in the midterms. Now it is considered backwards. It is considered anti-intellectual. It is considered low information voter to just be so-called a liberal or a Democrat voter without some kind of caveat and exception to that. Everybody is saying, well, I vote for the Democrats. It's almost in an apologetic tone. So it is becoming very, very cool to say you're conservative, or to say you're at least not Democrat. Not necessarily to say you're conservative, but to say I'm not just a die-in-the-wool Democrat no matter what. I vote Dems, I vote blue no matter who. That is no longer fashionable.
What are your thoughts of the idea of there being black Trump supporters?
I don't know why.
Do you see Donald Trump as being maybe more racist, or how do you see him? Do you not think he's racist?
Yeah, he's racist. Yeah, it's obvious.
Would that be a major, that'd be like a major reason why you wouldn't know why there would be black Trump supporters?
I don't know what, yeah.
I would say that there's so much information out there right now about Biden and his health and his age. And
uncertainty, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but I can't see any good reason to look at Mr. Trump.
There's no reason, any good enough reason to vote for Trump.
Yeah, I don't know why there would be.
Fair enough. I do have my buddy, Amir. Cruise on over here. You guys, I have a friend right here, Amir. He's actually voting for Donald Trump. He actually is a Trump supporter. Amir actually is going to be voting for Trump in November. Amir, we were kind of saying, maybe Donald Trump's racist, and that would kind of cause some confusion as to why there would even be black Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Would you mind maybe unpacking that a little bit for Amir, who is supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
They were saying maybe the support in the black community could be because of maybe hopping on a bandwagon or popularity or whatever it may be. Your answer was different. Could you remind me of your answer one more time? Just wanting change?
A lot of promises failed, and they're just tired of it, so people are hopping off the Democratic bandwagon.
I don't know why you'd vote for him.
Yeah. Amir, why would you vote for Donald Trump over Biden?
Over Biden?
Yeah.
I'd vote for Trump over Biden because I love the fact of having a secure border and not having all the illegal immigrants being brought to America. They're not being sent to the rich white neighborhoods. They're being sent to the black and brown neighborhoods. And that's where all the illegals are going.
I don't see Biden doing anything for us. If I think about my life today, not the media, not like what they're telling us, but I think about my life, like day-to-day basis, 2018, 2019, thriving. Like all of us were, gas was low, no inflation, home prices were moderate, like everything was chill. And then now with Biden, it's like, I don't like the way things are going. And if you just take a look at our immigration right now, where they're bringing all the illegals into the hood. And like this is ruining our own communities because, okay, we're supposed to get all this attention and love. How are we gonna get that when they're replacing all of us and busting the illegals into the Bronx, into,
The illegals.
Yeah, the illegals, yeah. They said Trump is gonna be involved in all these wars. There were none, but now we're in all these wars under Biden. Inflation, the price of everything is way higher. It's just overall, sure, the optics on mainstream media, there's not like riots and protests and like unrest, like there's none of that. But I argue that our lives are just way better under Trump than Biden.
Oh my God, I can't. Nope, I'm done.
Why not? We're just having a conversation.
Well, all I will say back to all of this is if we...
Your friend wasn't happy about that one.
Yeah, but...
Was I angry? Was I no?
You
Okay.
were sweet.
So yeah, what I find interesting about that is, and I actually think that part of the reason, first of all, I love these man on the street kind of interviews. I love that. I like talking to real people every day, getting the pulse of where the people are really at, because, you've got mainstream media, you've got everybody kind of capping for people and trying to create a narrative and say, these people feel like this and these people are doing that. No, let the people speak for themselves. So I love Men on the Street interviews, and shout out to James Klug. I pronounced your name the first time, but I think I got it right this time, so that's great. But what I find kind of interesting about this is, I feel like when they go to talk to people, and maybe there's some selective editing or something going on here, but it is perplexing to me why the people who say that they either don't understand why Black people are voting for Trump, and that's fine. I think everybody gets, this is America. You get to vote for who you want to vote for. So if you don't want to vote for Trump, don't. If you do, great, whatever. It's up to you. But what I find interesting is when they say they can't understand why Black people would vote for Trump, what they never do is give reasons. They never say, well, I think Black people wouldn't vote for Trump because A, B, C, and D. There's never any of that. All there is this sort of visceral, knee-jerk kind of reaction towards him that seems very emotional, and it seems to be something that very few people are able to articulate. So listen, if anybody knows these people who can articulate why it is that they do not think that Black people should vote for Trump, I personally would like to hear it, because there is a dearth out here of those explanations. And if you know reasons why Black people shouldn't vote for Trump, then you should be able to say it, because all we're seeing is people being asked those questions, and no one seems to have an actual answer that's based in any fact, or that's based in a context and in a reality that we're all living in today. No one has all of that. They talk about all of these amorphous ideas. The man said, well, he's racist, it's obvious. No, you're going to have to tell me how he's racist. Or the people say, well, he didn't do anything for us. Okay, you're going to have to say what you think he didn't do. What was it that you were looking for from him that didn't happen that he said he would do? So explain some of those things. I actually think part of the reason it's becoming so uncool to be a liberal is because of people like this. These people who they're interviewing on the street seem to have no idea about what they're doing. They seem like, maybe they're not, but they seem like low information voters. And they seem like whenever somebody comes up to them and asks them, oh, how do you feel? Oh, they can tell you how they feel. I don't like it. I don't think they should do this. I don't like them. But if they ask them, why do you feel that way? They don't have anything to say. Oh, I got to go. Well, it's just obvious. All right. Well, those answers don't hold up in 2024. Okay. We're supposed to be intelligent, thinking, voting electorate. This is an election year. You got to have more you can pull out of your bag than obvious. And I'm out. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. You need to do better than that, because what you actually are is you a Biden repellent. When other people see that, it's not a good look. And they don't want people to think about them the way we all think about you. So what they're doing is getting some information and finding out some things. And I advise these other folks to do the same, because never being able to explain, you have such an exaggerated and visceral reaction and no way to articulate where that's from. It's not a good look.
I like how the economy was under Trump. Life was just better in 2018, 2019. Obviously, COVID changed a little bit, but if we're looking at the moral of the picture,
Trump was taking credit for Biden or for Obama's economy.
Isn't that what every president do? Like, as far as when someone comes in, like, oh, they just take credit for the last and the last. Like, Biden's taking credit for all the jobs created, even though he didn't create jobs. It's just COVID shutdowns released, and then boom, people got their jobs back. It wasn't like he created jobs, and he's taking credit for that.
No, but
is that fair?
They lost them under Trump.
Do you think Trump supported the lockdowns? Do you see him as more of supporting the lockdowns that made people lose their jobs?
I really don't know. I mean, they did the lockdowns.
Do you see him as a major proponent of pushing that?
No.
Who do you think was pushing that?
I think that Felucci or whatever, I don't know.
This is not the first time that illegal immigration has been an issue. It's always been an issue.
You're right, but the main thing though is that the
getting
people,
everybody riled up on.
the people
all
coming
the people
across.
that have been here,
Can we talk more about that?
Yeah.
They've been here.
But the people
There's
that
been
are
illegal immigration.
the people that
forever.
are coming here now, if you go down and you watch all these interviews, and they're coming here because of Biden. because Biden has made it easier to get in the country. Illegal immigration is always been a thing.
People doesn't affect you if you don't live in a state where it's like a big deal, but if you
Exactly,
live in
but
a state,
under Biden, they made it way
in the bigger
easier.
cities, they're bringing them in and they're, but
Right. Inflation, gas prices, all these things going on. We got the crime, policing, all these things that we're trying to work on, right? Do you think it's fair that someone in Mexico can be like, actually, I'm gonna go to America, they sneak in illegally, then America, our government, is like, actually, we'll make it better. We'll get you a bus ticket to the plane, you get on the plane, you land in New York, you get to New York, boom, you get free housing, boom, you get $1,000 a month, and boom, you can get a license on the car.
America was founded on, right? And people are forgetting that. You know that, right?
But they're
ran
replacing
to
you.
America to have their freedom.
Do you think
know
that's fair?
that, right?
But do you think it's fair?
Do you mind if I
Who's
pause
to
real quick?
say if it's fair or not?
Who's to say if it's fair or not? We're to say if it's fair or not because we're the citizens. This is our country. The money that they're giving is our tax money that comes from our blood, sweat, and tears. So if anybody has anything to say, nobody can say anything before us. We're here to say. And to the gentleman in the previous clip who was saying he inherited Obama's economy. Now, okay, I had to take a deep breath on that, and I'm going to take one now because if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Obama presided over an economic downturn and a housing crisis collapse that we hadn't seen in God knows how long. So I cannot figure out where these great economic outlook for Obama is coming from. Now, if you were going to say that Obama did things as a response to the housing collapse and as a response to mitigate the economic downturn, which then Trump inherited some of those benefits, that is a very, very reasonable statement to make. You just need to tell us what those things are. What is it that he did? Because what we did see was that unemployment was high. We saw the whole home buying housing market completely collapse. I mean, Dodd-Frank, and this was all over the world, not just in the United States, but I mean, this derivatives scandal in the banks, all these banks had to consolidate. We bailed them out. You remember that? Remember the bailout we did? We gave them billions of our, maybe even trillions of our hard-earned tax money to make the banks solvent. So I don't know where this economic glowing Obama presidency, if you know where it happened and if you know what Obama did to put the economy on a great trajectory, then please, drop down in the comments and let me know. And I'm not saying he did nothing, but certainly to say that Trump's lowest unemployment in several categories of demographics, historic unemployment, historic highs in the stock market, lows in the credit rate and financing, the economy was booming. All of that is due to Obama. Then the Obama folks, then you need to come and tell us exactly what those things are because we would need them repeated. We want to know what they are because we want to be able to demand them in the future if in fact we ever face a crisis such as that again. Please stop holding, this doesn't need to be private. This doesn't need to be private information. If you got it, come out here and tell us. And that, I'm going to end with this, but that brings me to the point. I think a lot of people are, again, this is Biden repellent. You all are keeping people away from Biden because you don't seem very informed and you don't seem like you know what's going on. And even the woman that said all of the reason people don't like Biden is because he's old and he maybe has lost a step or two here. Well, okay, that's expected. You can't penalize anybody for aging. God bless him. It is a blessing to age. So that's not it. But I've never believed that. Frankly, I think that this narrative about the reason Biden is not garnering support is because he's old and he's dithering, which he is old and he is dithering. I don't believe that's it. I believe that that's just a trope that people who create narratives have put before the public so they don't have to discuss that Biden's policies suck and might be corrupt. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all for watching. I invite you and ask you to please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. And this was great. Let's do it again.